far. Okay, you are live. Please introduce yourself and tell me when to start the time.
Okay, hello, I'm Leah, again. I've already done 2 runs yesterday, but I'm back this morning to give you another one. This is DKC Returns. It marks the return of the DK Country series after the original trilogy concluded 10 years prior. So, excellent game. I'm just going to get right into it because we've got a fairly long run here. So I'm going to start in 3, 2, 1, go. Und ich werde auch sagen, ich versuche ein paar Teile dieses Runs auf Deutsch zu kommentieren. Ich bin gar kein Native Speaker, aber ich versuch's. Da es eine große deutschsprachige Community für DKC gibt. But anyway, the first thing you might notice is that I'm not actually playing in the HD version, I'm actually playing on the original Wii version. Das erste, das man merken könnte, ist, dass ich gerade DKC auf die Wii spiele und nicht auf der Switch. And the reason for that is because the Wii version is just a bit better for speedrunning. Der Grund dafür ist, dass DKC auf die Wii ist einfach besser für Speedrunning. Not lucky. I wanted to get coins from that.
Just some grammar correction in German. Do you say... oh wait, that's correct. Sorry.
I will definitely make a lot of mistakes. But I'll try. But yes, the Switch version has worse load times than the Wii version. So playing this on Wii is just faster. And I would say the physics are a bit more solid on Wii. It feels a bit better to play. What we're doing in all stages, I should clarify, is that we need to collect all the Kong letters in every level, which we don't have to do in any percent, but doing this will unlock an extra level in every world. Also alle Kong-Buchstaben in einer Welt zusammen führt dazu, dass wir ein weiteres Level spielen können. And these extra levels, the K levels as they're called, are some of the hardest in the game. Although in a speedrun they're not so bad. Diese K-Level sind unter den schwierigsten Leveln des Spiels, aber in einem Speedrun sind sie nicht so schwer wie einige andere Level. I really want to get coins from one of these barrels, I'm not getting very lucky. I need to collect 20 coins in the first 5 levels, and the best way to do that is to hit the DK on the goal barrel and then shake the Wii remote 15 times to collect... well, shake the Wii remote 15 times and then hope that it gives me coins. Which is about, I'd say, a 1 in 4 chance. Nobody knows for sure. but it's something like that. And if I don't get 20 coins by the end of the 5th level, I'm gonna have a couple problems, gonna have to take a fairly large detour. In practice, you very rarely have to do that, but it might happen. Yes. That's what we like to see. Effect Museum. Now I would still like to get another one at some point in the run. But if I don't, it's not a huge problem.
By the way, there was also Donkey Kong 64 before they didn't make a new Donkey Kong game till this one.
Ah yes, yeah, there were a few DK games that happened in the 2000s. Barrel Blast, if people even want to remember that game. I understand if not.
The DK game with the bongos, I don't know the name of.
Donkey Konga. Also, Donkey Kong Jungle Beat, which is a pretty cool game. DK King of Swing and DK Jungle Climber. There were definitely DK games released, but the DK Country series was long dormant until this game released. I should say, since I haven't actually spoken very much about the movement yet, as you can probably tell, the fastest way to move is just rolling most of the time. With DK, you can only roll for about half a second, but with Diddy on your back you can roll infinitely, or until you hit something. I need to be careful here. There are some ways you can speed up minecart sections, but I need to not do that right here, because there is a Kong letter I need to get, and if I'm too fast I can't get it. There we go. So these levels, as I just hinted at, these are not entirely, you know, you don't just completely chill during these levels. You do, there are ways to go faster, mainly jumping up slopes. You also want to not always ride down slopes. You want to jump off them after a little bit, or if they're too steep you want to skip them entirely. So it's a little bit involved. You do have to at least think during these. Also because the auto-scrollers in this game are actually quite hard. Also, this is a fairly difficult letter. I got it. Easy win.
Yeah, such a kind of letter or puzzle piece is also on the Tropical Freeze.
Yes, I cannot speak too much on Tropical Freeze, but I mean, Returns and Tropical Freeze share a speedrunning Discord server, and as a result I've seen plenty of the stuff that happens in Tropical Freeze. I'm very familiar with the speedrun, despite not really having done it myself. I've played it a little bit, but yes, Returns is my main game. And yeah, both of these games have puzzle pieces and the Kong letters. I'd say the puzzle pieces are a lot harder to find in Tropical Freeze, but I am definitely just biased there, because I'm not very familiar with playing the game casually and stuff. All puzzles are a very fun category in DKCR though. It's not very popular, but it is a very fun category. To be honest, any category other than any percent isn't very popular in this game, which is a bit of a shame. Because I think they can really... There's really some unique stuff in every category. Also, shout out to these levels. There are 3 levels that look like this, and they look gorgeous. I guarantee if you search like Nintendo wallpaper on Google Images, you will find... Oh, whoops, I forgot about that. I forgot that's there. I guarantee if you search like Nintendo wallpaper on Google Images, this is one of the results that will come up first. Because this level is definitely one of the most memorable from the game. Ugh. Sloppy. Oh, nice. It's very hard to see, but I got a ceiling boost there. There is a part of that ceiling that is sloped, and if you jump into it while grabbing, it actually pushes you forward. So now we've collected all the Kong letters, and we can now play the K level. Wir haben alle Kong-Buchstaben in der ersten Welt gesammelt und spielen jetzt das erste K-Level. Now this level's quite difficult without Diddy, but thankfully we can take Diddy in a full run like this. This level is really about remembering where all the platforms are, for the most part. This is one of my favourite levels in the game, by the way, the speedrun. Huge fan of this one. What I'm also going to do is take my time in some of these sections, just so I can collect a few coins from enemy bounces. Whoops, I wanted to get one more there. Because I didn't get a second coin barrel in this world, I would like to have a decent chance of getting some coins. I can collect 2 more here. I might be good by the end of... I would like to buy the key in World 2. Each key costs 20 coins. Without having to go back for it later, so without having to change my route. And I just need 3 more coins, so that shouldn't be too bad to get. Okay, first boss, Mugly, auf Deutsch Grässli. This boss is one of only 2 in the game that doesn't have any RNG factors. So his pattern is the same every time, and there is sort of a skip you can do in the first part. Not really a skip, but you can... If I get it. I did not get it. Never mind. What I would have liked to do is hit him early so I could stop him on the left side. And it's got a pretty boring name, it's just called Fast Mugly, but it basically saves about 4 seconds or so. Just prevents him having to, you know, run across the whole screen. It's more significant than any percent. Oh, I missed a hit there. Invincibility frames. Yeah, but just like that, we're out of World 1. Ooh. I've got my split second in the background if you hear any spacebar sounds. So yeah, just like that, we're out of World 1, and... yeah. World 2 is kind of the early game killer. It's very difficult for an early game world. Especially 2.1, 2.5, and 2.7. Those are the true early game killers. 2.1 is not so bad in all stages, compared to any percent, but it is still something you have to watch out for. Everyone has their own way of getting this ladder. Nobody can agree on what's fastest. That is one of the stupidest Kong letters in the game. I do a jump there just to stall. I messed this part up. I would have liked to get a bounce off that crab and then get to that section earlier, but I did not get it. Oops. Okay, rather messy 2-1, but what can you do? So now I do have 20 coins, so when I complete this level and unlock the shop, I will not have to, or I can just go to it immediately, not have to come back later. So to summarise, you need 180 coins throughout the run. There are 160 required to get a key in every world, and we need an additional 20 to pick up another item for one level at the end of the run. That is a rather out-of-the-way Kong letter. They're usually, you know, a lot more in your way, but that one is not often that you have to go, like, into the background for a Kong letter. That's fine, I can get Diddy back immediately. Oh, I forgot about that. Something I should say is that I actually really like using the motion controls for this game. Like, you don't really have a choice to use the motion controls or not on Wii, but I really like them. In fact, I much prefer how this game controls compared to HD. I think the motion controls really, they just feel right, I think. I might have had the chance to get a fast cycle there. Cranky Kong handing us some wisdom every time we talk to him. And by wisdom I mean lectures. And this is our first rocket level. And there really is not going to be too much going on here. Das erste Raketenfass-Level. Raketenfass. Entschuldigung. Yeah, there's really not much going on here. Unlike minecart levels, you cannot speed these up in any way. You just have to not die. And for the record, minecart and rocket levels, you die in one hit. So yeah, you can't touch anything. The health indicator in the top left is lying to you in these levels. In HD and 3D, I forget to mention DKCR 3D sometimes, but it is there, and honestly I like it better than Returns HD. In those two games, in the easy mode that they give you, you can acquire a crash guard for these levels that lets you survive one hit. But, you know, optimally in a speedrun you just wouldn't die. Get good, as Cranky would say. Not too much longer here. right at the end now. And that is actually one of the longer rocket levels, so most of them are shorter than that. This level is quite simple, not too much going on here. I should note that from a roll, when you're rolling, you can actually jump in midair. And it is required to get a lot of collectibles in this game. They don't make it super clear that you can do that, but I believe the only place they actually mention it is in the game's instruction manual and in one rogue dialogue from Cranky sometimes. In fact, there's literally a Kong letter in 1.1 that you need to do that to get. And I'm sure it immediately confused a lot of people, me included, when I was a dumb kid playing this game. Fun fact, when I used to play this game, when I was like 8 years old or something, I could not get past 1-2. True story. Lord knows how I got here. For some background, this is kind of my main speed game. I say kind of because I have like 5 main speed games. But this is kind of the first one I got really good at. I mostly do individual level time attacks for this game, or at least used to mostly do that. But now I kind of do a mix of those and full game runs. I want to get that has a coin. I'm having too much fun goofing off in this level. I need to actually get the coins that you can get. And this letter, of course. Whale momentum is definitely a thing. I'm gonna try and save some time with a jump off here. Nice. You can do a couple off-screen jumps in this level. They look scary, they're not that bad though. There is a trick you can do here, in this following section, to save a lot of time, and it looks really flashy. By a lot of time I mean like 2 seconds. But looks really flashy. I'm absolutely not going for it because it's really risky. There is someone who does go for it. His name is Sorrento. He is a French player who joined the community about a year ago, and he has been going crazy on the game. Especially Returns 3D and HD. He has been really pushing those games. For the record, the strat is to activate the whale's blowhole and then roll into it, which sends you really high and really fast. That's kind of the gist of it. We don't have a name for it. I call it the Whale Tenko, but you can call it whatever you want. No, 2.5 is the other... It's the second of 3 big killers in World 2. Oh, good job. Bonk. Right there, I should note, I did a high bounce off that second squid. High bouncing off enemies with Diddy works kind of weirdly. If you are just landing on top of an enemy from above with Diddy, you have a single frame to time your input to both maintain roll speed and get extra height. If not, if you don't hit that exact frame, then you lose one or the other, depending on if you went early or late. The exception is if you are ascending, in which case you can always get it. We call that a rising bounce, and I do a rising bounce at the very beginning of the level. To avoid an enemy from below that would kill me, not kill me, attack me otherwise. And losing Diddy there is actually intentional, because in that ending we really need to do a double high bounce off those squids, so obviously losing Diddy would make that way easier. But anyway, 2-7 is the final one of the 3 deadly levels you need to really watch out for. Especially when you're starting out running this game, this level's really intimidating. Oh dear. Okay, I'm gonna have to wait a little bit here. I screwed that up. Okay, well, had to happen eventually. Getting a deathless run of this game is notoriously hard. I apologise, my neighbour's dog is being really loud outside, you can probably hear it. I will close my window as soon as I can. I'll just wait here, actually. This is the rock you'd normally wait behind. Oh dear, I forgot that's there. I've played too much Returns HD recently, and those crabs actually just don't exist in HD for some reason. Right, yeah, this has been a very scuffed 2-7. I'll just wait. 2-7 deaths happen to everyone, like that. Very just easy level to die in if you make one mistake. I've never had a deathless run of all stages myself. I've had a couple deathless runs of any percent, but in general, just getting a deathless run is just very rare. That was really messy, but about 45 seconds lost there. Ultimately, because I just missed the K the first time, is what killed it. But okay. Speaking of K, here is 2K. This is a relatively quick level, compared to 1K. There are some big skips we do here. Like this. You're supposed to wait for a load of platforms to fall, you can just do that. And also that. Get some more platforms. And at the ending, this is where things get really interesting. I'm not going to go for them, but there are 3 skips you can do here. I'm going to go for 2K skip, as we call it. Very boring name, I know. Let's listen out. I did not get it. Oh dear. This is the part where I try not to die, but we're fine. Okay, well that is kind of annoying. I would have liked to get that, but that's fine. So 2K skip. I would have skipped waiting for that last platform there. I would have climbed up quite quickly on the 3rd set of falling platforms, and then done a tight roll jump to the end. And then in 2021 we found 2K skip, which allows us to kind of go out of bounds in the 2nd set of platforms, and save about 8 seconds compared to 2K skip. And then in 2024 we found 2K skip, which allows us to go even earlier from the 1st set of falling platforms, and save about another 3 seconds compared to 2K skip. For conciseness, we tend to call it 2KS3. Yes, it is. It was theorized a long time ago, but a really silly strategy that is definitely not RTA. Well, no. We've done it in ILs, but definitely not viable for runs. Very risky. If you mess it up, you die. If you mess up any of them, you die. That's kind of the theme in this game. A lot of like the big strats that you could go for, if you mess them up, you just die, so it's not really worth it. Unless, I don't know, if you're trying to pull back a dead run. Also, this boss. This boss is one of the only things in the game that makes completing the game without rolls impossible. Because you actually are required to roll into the stack to knock it over. Which is, I mean, it's a challenge not really anyone cares about very much, but it is kind of there. So because of that 2-7 stuff, I'm about a minute behind. I'm like a bit over a minute behind my PB right now. Still sub 30 leaving World 2, which is not too bad. What I should note as well is that I'm playing on the Wii U eShop version of this game, also called Virtual Console. This is because it overall has faster and more consistent load times. The load time difference is much more apparent in categories where you replay levels, so 200% mirror mode and file completion. The exact reasons are a bit boring and I won't get into them, but I have done a lot of like load research for this game, specifically for load remove timing for any percent, and eventually all stages as well. And in general, the digital version is just better for speedrunning. Yeah. The consistency in the load times really helps. It's not that there's a lot of variance on the same console when playing on a disc, it's just that, for example, at the end of a level here, the time it takes for that level clear text to show up is nearly the same every time on digital versions, but depending on the level on a disc, it can take up to half a second longer sometimes. It just helps streamline things. This is a rather long level, and it also has a rather outdated reference right here, Billy Mitchell. You look closely at the tie on that statue. There's a reference to Billy Mitchell, which did not age well. I hope he doesn't sue the stream for me saying that. Nice, I got those bird bounces. If those bounces go wrong, then of course you lose time, but the other problem is that you actually end up with a bit of a coin deficit. It's kind of hard to come back from sometimes. This can be a scary lever to go for. The timing for getting a high bounce in general is kind of weird in the Wii version of DKCR. And you only get one shot at that. If you miss it, then the only option is to die and try again, which loses about a minute. Not that you miss it very often if you're trying, but I don't know, it's always a fear in the back of my mind. But yes, this is one of the longest levels in the game. Thankfully it's not too hard to do well, but it's kind of got a bit of everything. Some people love this level. I'm kind of indifferent to it. I don't care too much either way about this one. I have a rhythm cue for these shots. Nice. Boom, boom, boom. A bit later, but cool. You don't die if you miss one of those shots, you just kind of make a fool of yourself. You lose a lot of time still. This is actually a key that we buy in any percent. We do play 3-4 in any percent rather than going the bottom route. Because it not only saves a level, 3-4 also happens to be considerably faster than both 3-5 and 3-3, which are the levels below. The numbering gets kind of confusing sometimes. Yeah, this is a fairly quick level. Nice. Oh. Oh, okay. 100 to 0 real quick there. At least I didn't die. That would have made it a lot worse. Right, I can explain what happened. So I was happy because I got a momentum bounce. Because, oh yeah, that's what we call getting a frame-perfect bounce to maintain roll speed while also getting a high bounce of Diddy. That's what we call it, a momentum bounce. I was happy because I got that. In fact, I tend to get that one quite often. I don't know why. This kind of works. And then I immediately freaked out because I almost screwed up the next bit of movement and I almost died. 3-4's a level that's surprisingly easy to die in as well. But regardless, we're out of it. Actually go up and play 3-6 right now, even though it's the last level before the boss. It just works out faster because the K level is down at the bottom of the map. It saves about 2 seconds in map movement over playing 3-3 first. This K letter is really out of the way. Kind of like the 1 in 2-2, that is a... It's very easy to forget that one. And what I did there is actually, you're supposed to get, supposed to pick up Rambi and then go back for that letter, but actually you can just pick it up early by taking a damage boost of DK. Rambi does not care about spikes, he can go right through them. And speaking of Rambi, he's the only animal buddy in this game. They kind of got rid of every other animal buddy, and he only shows up in 4 levels as well, out of 72. So... some people don't like this game very much for that reason. But, I mean... whatever, you know. Rambi isn't actually even used at all of those levels, he's only, in all stages, he's only used in 2 of those levels. You only really find him in all 4 of them if you're playing all puzzles. That was a very good 3-6, actually. No, nothing went wrong there. Actually golded by 2 seconds. Although my splits are not super optimized. 3-3 is a rather messy level. Not a lot of people really like this one. Myself included. It's kind of out of place in World 3. It looks like it belongs in the previous world, the beach. And in speedrunning it's just kind of a mess. It's a rather broken level. But the brokenness doesn't really show very much in RTA compared to playing it in an IL, but it is still there. You're supposed to let bombs destroy those crates, but much faster to just go right through them. Tank the hit. Ooh, okay. That's weird. I was supposed to just roll onto that crate, but I was hit by my nemesis, Oscillation. Okay, I grabbed the checkpoint before grabbing the N. If I die for some reason, then I'll have to get the N again. Which I shouldn't, but yes, I got hit by my nemesis in that previous section, which is Oscillation, which basically refers to the fact that when you're rolling, DK's hitbox is not actually a perfect circle. So sometimes when you're rolling over gaps, different interactions can happen depending on what part of your hitbox is showing. Now most of the time you would roll straight on top of that crate without any problems, but that time I didn't. Anyway, 3-5. I love the German name for this level, Bissiger Bärchen. It pretty much is exactly what it sounds like. You got these tiny blue thingies that don't show up in any other level in the game. They can be a pain to deal with, and it's probably annoying. This is definitely an annoying level casually, but speedrunning is quite fun. It's quite a unique level, I think. Certainly some unique bits of movement in this level that aren't seen anywhere else. Whoops, I really did not want to take that hit. That is actually going to cause some problems. Yeah, I'm going to have to lose Diddy there. I'll just take a damage boost. Sometimes you really have to know when it's better to just take a hit and move on. I failed the strat in this room. Okay, actually. I thought I failed the strat, but that actually worked out really cleanly still. Nice. That room is rather hard to do quickly, but it looks really cool when you do it. Nice, actually. That was not a bad 3-5. Hmm. 3K is a rather unremarkable K level compared to the rest. The first half of it is pretty much auto-scroller. That jump is one of the two you have to optimize in this section, and the other one is near the end. That's pretty much those are pretty much the only things you need to optimize in this first section. The second section is a bit more interesting. This level makes great use of the ceiling boosts I mentioned in 1.4 briefly. In this ending section. So, grabbing against a ceiling will prevent you from losing roll speed when you hit it, which is really useful in that ending section, especially if you have only DK, like in the IL, and therefore can't roll indefinitely. We're up to our first major RNG boss. I don't think anyone likes this guy. Alright, where should we begin? Right, so he will throw 3 bombs at me, or hopefully at me. Very nice, thank you. So he can throw those bombs at you, or he can just throw them, like, away from you for... I don't know what he's trying to accomplish, but he can do that. And you need to hit him 6 times. Once you hit him 3 times, he will go into his second phase, kind of, where he will chuck a missile into the ground. That was a very quick kill, though. He'll chuck a missile into the ground, destroy the bottom layer of the arena, and then... Yeah, this boss can really take a while sometimes if he just doesn't want to hit you, and sometimes he'll throw the bombs at you, but then they won't go far enough to actually, you know, be grabbable. It's a whole mess, and there's a lot of improvisation you need to do in that boss. More so than any other boss in the game, really. You really need to just think on the spot there, sometimes. Moving on to World 4 now, which is somewhat of a unique world. In any percent, this is by far the easiest world in the run. In fact, this world is kind of hilariously easy in any percent. Because all of the normal levels are auto-scrollers. And this actually introduces us to a new type of auto-scroller, which is standing cart levels. So when we played 1.6 earlier, that is a sitting cart level, where we, well, sit in the minecart, we jump with the minecart, we cannot leave it until the end of the level. This one's different, because we actually jump between minecarts and also into normal platforming sections every so often, which I think is a lot cooler. Unfortunately, these ones didn't make a return in Tropical Freeze, which I think is a bit of a missed opportunity. But regardless, they're in this game. I'm thankful for them. They are definitely the most fun auto-scrollers to run. I'm gonna go for Trick in a couple seconds. Oh, whoa. Nearly jumped over that. Right, do I get this? I did not, but I didn't die. I would have liked to jump into that first cannon there, the one directly above the car, which is about a 3-frame window. I did not get it, but I also did not die at least. So I'm not complaining too much. But yeah, this world is all auto-scrollers. It's also by far the shortest world. It's the only one to have only 5 levels. Or 5 normal levels, 7 in total. In all stages, it's not quite as simple, because the 2 levels that we skip in any percent in this world happen to be 2 of the hardest auto-scrollers in the game, and they also have 2 really tough Kong letters to get that often kill us in all stages runs. So it's not quite as chill here. And then the K level. The K level is rather infamous casually. It is considered one of the hardest K levels casually. In speedrunning, it can be really chill, but if something goes wrong, then it immediately becomes a world of panic. I nearly died there, wow. Immediately becomes really stressful if you make a single mistake, but if you don't make a mistake, it's really easy. But until then, I've got this and then the other 3 auto-scrolls to get through. I might take a death in one of them, just trying to get the Kong letters. This one's not too bad, thankfully. Obscure fact, this level's name, Grip and Trip, is spelt with apostrophe N apostrophe in the PAL English version of the game only. In American English it is spelled with an ampersand. Except for Returns HD, where it is spelled with an ampersand in all regions. And just for completeness sake, in German it's spelled as a single compound word. Klammeraffenfahrt. I should really be just reading out the German level names. I can't think of very much to commentate about in German. Otherwise. At the very least I could do that. Well, at least the interesting ones. Some of them you just can't make interesting. Can't translate in an interesting way no matter what. Like Maulwurf-Patrouille. Like, that's pretty much verbatim Mole Patrol. It's kind of hard to find interesting things to say in World 4 sometimes, but it's fine, it's kind of chill. At least these first 3 levels are really chill in all stages. I do still need to be keeping an eye on my coins, because actually, speaking of coins, the boss of this world has an opportunity to give me a lot of coins, which could set me up really well for the rest of the run from here. Until then, though, I'm just kind of chilling. This is a rather easy auto-scroll, and it's also one of the shortest. Just don't miss a letter. You can pop these guys, by the way. There's actually a puzzle piece for doing it in this section. But yes, there is like no time saving rocket levels for flying straight or anything, I just do it for fun. Need to get the G. Yeah, as you can see, we've not got many coins right now. Thankfully, we don't need to buy the Ward 5 key until quite far into Ward 5, but yeah, ideally I would like to be a bit richer here. I've still only had one coin barrel this run. Right, 4-3 is... Some casual players consider this the hardest auto-scroller in the game, and it may very well be. Notably for speedrunners, the O in this level, the O letter, is a 2-frame window to get. That's not like with some crazy speedrun strat we do, that is actually just the window you have casually. So, I might die. Fully expected to take at least one death. Let's see if I get it. Yep. Every death is 35 seconds, by the way. Missing that. I fully expected that to happen. It's not like this run was flawless anyway, I already took like 2 deaths in this one. I'm not too bothered. But let's hopefully get it the second or third try. And not much more than that. There we go. Yeah, 2-frame window to get that. It's really mean, to be honest. Like, yeah. I have no other words to describe it, it's just mean. In returns 3D, which runs at 30 FPS, that is a frame-perfect jump. This does mean that I don't get Diddy back until 4K, but I don't need him, like, at the start of 4K because you get him back anyway there, so I'm not worried. Thankfully there's only one more sitting cart level after this, I'm not too thrilled by them usually. This level does end on a DK barrel by default, so that is to say that if you go as fast as possible you just hit a DK barrel, so let's see what I get. And I did not get coins, yay! Okay, it's more like 33 seconds I guess. Still pretty considerable time lost to dying here. Oh my god, I really needed to shut my window, I'm sorry. If you hear any background noise. People are loving to be loud today. That's crazy. I'm gonna do my best. Yeah, hold on. See if I can close it. Okay guys, I don't know how, but I closed my window while playing that. That might be like the most insane thing I've ever done. I need to put my headphones back on, so just a sec. The things I have to do sometimes. There we go, the headphones back on. Right, 4K. Remembered I didn't have Diddy. This level could be really smooth if it goes well, and there's one thing that if it goes wrong will ruin everything. So I hope that doesn't happen. That is not the thing I was expecting, but that will also ruin things a little bit. Okay, right, I've got to play this really safe now. This is not what was supposed to happen. Oh wait. I'm basically playing 4K mirror mode now. Wait. Nice, okay. Okay, for context, what I mentioned just then, mirror mode, Spiegelmodus, it's a secret mode you unlock actually as a result of completing this category. So completing all of the stages rewards you with mirror mode, which is a special mode that gives you only 1 heart and no Diddy. So I pretty much had to play 4K mirror mode for the second half of that, which is notable for being the hardest mirror mode level by some counts. But anyway, we're now in 4B. This has an intended skip to skip straight to the train in every phase. You are meant to do this. You need to do it to get the shiny gold medal in the time attack mode. Between phases, if you look at the last card that's left standing, that will tell you how far away the train is going to be. In that instance, it was the leftmost card that was left standing, so the train was as close as it could possibly be. If the 2 carts on the right are left standing, then you cannot get across with a single jump. You have to hover. The middle one works with a full jump. But yes, it dramatically cuts the time down for this boss, and it is really easy to do as well. And because I mentioned mirror mode, I should say that it's relevant. The thing I mentioned about the proximity to the train is relevant in mirror mode because if it is not one of the 2 rightmost carts, you can actually jump across with DK only, which is really helpful for completing the level in mirror mode. Because normally you have to do a whole sequence where you dodge some, I don't know, they throw some stuff at you, you have to dodge it. Alright. Mid 58 leaving World 4 isn't too bad. Generally a lot of people are just looking for sub hour there. Considering what's happened in this run so far, mid 58 isn't terrible. By any means. Alright. World 5. Some people say the game starts in World 5. Because this is the first of 2 difficulty spikes. World 5 and World 6 are going to be noticeably harder than anything we've played so far. There's about a 2-frame window to get through that section without taking damage. I did not get it. Yes, World 5 and World 6 probably going to be more death heavy than the previous worlds. This level doesn't show it so much, but you can still take some easy deaths here if you're not focusing enough. I had the opportunity to get 2 extra coins there, I missed it, unfortunately. Still thinking about my coins and stuff. Yes, most of this level is just waiting for vine cycles and stuff. Some skips we can do. Notably, this level is actually faster when played with nunchuck controls, which I use because I think they're much more comfortable. If you play with the Wiimote controls, the grab button to hold onto vines is the same as the run button to hover quickly. So you can't really get the best of both worlds unless you play with nunchuck. That is hovering past vines quickly. My menuing's been slightly off this whole run. I lost like a full second pressing play on that
Yeah,
one.
also in my opinion, the D-pad on the Wiimote is kind of small.
Yeah, I do not like the D-pad on the Wiimote at all. Not a fan of it. This level's got a... This is really cool level. That's all I can say about it. Really cool level to run. Have to remember to get the K here. You can do a skip past that whole section, but you have to remember to get the K in this category, which sometimes you forget. And because I was just talking about Wiimote controls, I should say that this level's considerably faster on Wiimote, because where Wiimote does save time over nunchuck is in any level with vertical climbing, like this one. Because for whatever reason it just gives you faster acceleration when climbing. That really makes a difference in this level. Oh, I didn't get it. Wait, ah. That would have been cool. I almost got a trick there. The one cycle N. I got the one cycle O a little bit earlier in the level, and almost got the one cycle N, but unfortunately I clipped onto the platform and I didn't want to. That was still okay though. You can do a little skip at this ending, but there's a coin there and it's a bit risky. Okay, not terrible. Right, 5-3. This is where the difficulty starts to kick in. For real this time. This is one of the easiest levels to take a death in. Like, so many mistakes here just kill you in one shot pretty much if you don't back them up properly. It can be really hard to recover in this level. Even that beginning can kill you quite easily. If you jump at the wrong time, that jump there can kill you as well. Like that. I was trying to be really ballsy there. And I was trying to cut my jump a little short to save a little bit of time, and that killed me. Don't try it. You will try. That's how that's supposed to look. That's not the place you're supposed to die in that level, by the way. And its ending section as well. Can be quite scary. Oh god, whoa. That is a ledge hop. A ledge hop is a thing that basically... DK will do a little animation if he lands close to the front of a ledge, and it's supposed to help you get onto ledges a little bit easier, and it does that. But in that case it almost kicked me off the platform. And if 5-3 was difficult, 5-4 is even harder. It's even easier to take a death in 5-4. Thankfully this is kind of the peak of Ward 5's difficulty, but this is like the most common level to take a death in, I would say. Among, like, across the whole community, this is probably the most commonly died in level. This level's got the highest kill count. Wait a little bit here to get the O. And me, I love 5-4, so I feel like I'm pretty decent at it. That aged well.
That really aged well.
Let's play a little safer. That's what you're supposed to do there. I'm not going to bother getting that DD barrel because I get him back immediately in 5-5, so I'm not worried. It's one thing to die in 5-4, just like, I mean, take a death in general. It's another thing because, like, if you die, you don't get Diddy back until the very end. And at that point, like, it's almost not worth going for him because you get him back right at the start of 5-5 instead. In contrast to the previous two levels, this level's really chill and really quick as well. For some reason, grabbing after you do a bounce on that flower prevents you from losing speed on the enemy bounce afterwards. I don't know why, it just does. I have to wait one cycle longer there because you have to get the G in all stages. Scooch my chair in a little bit. I forgot I, like, got out of my chair, like, 12 minutes ago. Close my window. The neighbours are never quiet when you need them to be. Oh, whoops, missed that. I guess arachnophobia warning. Probably should have mentioned that earlier. If you have spiders, look away for, like, the next... If you do not like spiders, look away for the next, like, minute. Well, actually, I'm far enough ahead that they're not even on the screen, but... Yes, this level is a spider chase. And they one-hit you, by the way. If you get hit by them at all, you die. So, try not to do that. Nice. That's a fast way to get the N by doing a rising bounce. Oh, I tried to go for Taskgate and I didn't get it. Oh well. Right here, as we transition into the section, if I mash the A button, or I guess mash 2 if I'm on Wiimote, that is, it doesn't really have a name, but I call it JXD strat because a runner called JXD found it. For some reason you can just shoot out of that cannon a lot earlier than you would otherwise be able to. And it saves about 0.8. Pretty much free time save. By the way, JXD is crazy at this game. He doesn't play very much anymore, but he's part of the so-called Big Three trio of British runners for this game. The other two being myself and the any % world record holder, and also all stages world record holder, -1/12. Arguably is expanded to be the Big Four now, with Sorendo's recent dominance. But if you only include British runners, it's still the Big Three. This is a rather odd level. It's not one you play in any %. It's really quite unusual, definitely one of the least popular levels in the game. I'm really not sure what else to say about it. It's just kind of unorthodox. Any other synonym of that word that I haven't already mentioned? It's not too long though. Oops. This next section is really annoying in the IL because you need to ideally get 3 momentum maxes in a row in this section, which makes the IL really annoying to grind sometimes. But not too much longer. Some skips in this section. And there we go. Pretty short level. And the next one as well is not short, but also just kind of unpopular. Collectively, I tend to refer to these 2 levels as like SouthTyrol 5. Nobody really talks about them very much. This one's mostly auto-scroller. Of course you do want to pick up all those coins still. A little secret path here, but doesn't even have any collectibles attached to it, but it is way faster. Still get the N. It's kind of evil casually, like you're supposed to get the N by going the normal route, but then if you find that secret it makes it considerably harder to get the N. But I mean speedrunners aren't worried because Diddy is really nice to have most of the time. I knew I'd probably miss that. That's fine, I'm not worried about that. Actually, I might be worried about that. I just remember what level's next. Oh no, I'll be fine. I'm different, I'll be fine. This does mean I can't jump off so early at the end. There is a nice visual cue in the background, if you have Diddy for the last jump. Of course I lost him. Alright, 5k. If I had to say what the hardest K level is, I would say it's this one. There are some skips you can go for in this level. I'm mostly panicking a little bit because I don't have Diddy. Not because I need him for skips or anything, but because I really like those extra 2 hearts. For, you know, insurance. Boom. 1 skip. That is the only skip I feel safe going for in the beginning. Yeah. So this is called, well, blast and bounce, and you certainly blast and you bounce. That's really all I can say about it. Oh my god, no. That's not how I expected to die. I'm gonna put that out there. Not how I thought I would die. That's really sad. Okay. Ah, that's unexpected. Anyway. See, with Diddy, I would have been safe there. Oh well. It was my own fault for losing him in 5-7. This does mean I'll have more coins than I need, though. But yeah, I'm losing a lot of time to that. I might actually not go for that skip now. You know what, screw it, I'll go for it. If I die, then shame on me. I didn't die. Haha. I lived. I lived. Haha. It's not that hard, I don't know why I'm so happy. Okay, I would have liked to go for an extra skip there. There is possibly another secret skip though I can go for. I did not get it. Wow, I just made myself look like a complete fool and I lost another minute. Okay, no more fancy stuff. Let's just get out of this level. I usually don't miss that. I'm gonna be real. Okay, that's fine. I can still hit my estimate. I'll be fine. Just wanted to fool around a little bit and it backfired. Yeah, that's what I mean when I say this is the hardest K level. Definitely the one I worried about the most in the run. As a side effect, I now have way too many coins. That I have more coins than I know what to do with now. Nice. I was a bit worried during this skip earlier. You have to pull back shortly before you go off screen, and sometimes you get hit. Which of course if I have one heart that means I'm dead. Right, no more funny business. Let's just get out of this level. I lied. I didn't quite get it, but that is most of the skip for the ending. Yeah, I lost about 2 minutes there. Yikes. This could have been a 2:14 before that. Okay, anyway. "5B. This is... After the hardest K level in the run, we have what I would call the hardest boss in the run by a lot. By about the distance from the Earth to the Sun, this is like the hardest boss in the run.
That's the hardest normal level in the run.
Hard to say, to be honest. There are a few candidates for the hardest normal level. Possibly 5-3 and 5-4. Some levels in World 7 are really dangerous. Oh, whoops. We're fine. Okay. Yes, this level, this boss, if anything goes wrong in this... Oh my god, that is crazy. Okay, wow, I've just found a new thing to not do in this boss. Okay. That is incredible. I've never seen that before. I'm impressed more than anything that happened. Okay, it's fine. Can still do the boss normally. Wow, I'm just taken aback by that. I've never seen anyone die like that. Anyway, after I'm done freaking out about that, yes, if anything goes wrong in this boss, it can be really hard to back up, and it often results in you losing Diddy for 6-1, which is not ideal. Yes, I jumped too early there and I hit the ceiling, didn't realise it was going to happen, and I fell to my death. But that's how this boss is supposed to look, that second go round. Anyway, World 6 is a bit tamer than World 5. World 5 is kind of... Yeah, definitely World 5 is harder, but World 6 is still much harder than the early game. Um, 6-1 in particular is not actually too bad, but some of the later levels can be really rough here. Nice rising bounce there. This level can look really clean when done properly. Ah! Do not touch the forbidden chocolate. I unintentionally got a momentum bounce there, okay. That actually saved me some good time. I was too slow to make the normal cycle, but somehow getting a momentum bounce by accident saved it. I'll take it. I need that. Oh, be really careful. I knew I was going to hit that ceiling, which would have meant death. But okay. Yeah, 6-1's not too bad. It could be quite fun to do well, actually. (6-2), you'll be relieved to know, is the final sitting minecart level. I don't think anyone's ever super thrilled by these levels. I messed up. Oops. And this one's considerably easier than 4-3, so... you know, hopefully... nothing silly happens. Okay, we're pretty much in the clear. About another 30 seconds of level to pad it out a little bit. The IL world record in this one is quite crazy. As far as we can tell, the world record for this level is actually tied with the TAS and cannot be beaten. I am not part of that tie. It's a really painful tie to go for. I do not want to try for it. I'm 1 frame off currently. This level is really cool. It's got a lot of skips you can do. This is... I would say one of like the quintessential levels in the speedrun. I think if you're going to learn any level, this is a really fun one to learn. Just so much of this stuff is probably intentional as well. That level just kind of speaks for itself, to be honest. Like, I don't think the skips there need too much explanation. They're just there, and they're really cool. We're looking pretty good for coins for the rest of the run. We only need 23 more from here. And I know exactly where to get them. Regarding level order, we're going to do 6-4 first, before 6-5. And there is a reason. Normally level order doesn't matter a huge amount. Usually it's for like map movement or something. This one's different. Just a little bit. This is also a really difficult level. Well, not really, like, super difficult, but It's probably the hardest in World 6. It's definitely the one you're most likely to die in World 6, I'd say. Especially in this first checkpoint section right here. Nice. That is a really tight rising bounce. I think I'm actually supposed to pan that block first. Whoops. Oh, whoa. Okay, you know what, I lost Diddy anyway. Nearly died in the process. Okay, this has gone messy. Actually, what am I doing? I'm supposed to boost past this one. I got my strats confused. I'm fine, I promise. Yes, if you only have DK at the ending, you should boost through the first set of boulders, because they take forever. And yes, this is a reason why we are doing this level before 6.5, because we lose Diddy in this one, and Diddy is nice to have at the beginning of 6.6. Yeah, that was not as clean as I would have liked, because I made a couple mistakes there. Ideally, you would be able to just boost through everything, have enough hearts to do all of that, but I did not. 6.5 is a rather easy level at this point in the game. Really not too much going on here. This is a Ramby level, but we don't need him. There is a rather cool way to get the G that I hope I get. This level is quite notable in all puzzles for being like... This is unfortunately quite an important level in all puzzles. I say unfortunately because it's not super fun. Also, I got the strat. That's really cool. Landing on the far side of any gong will mean that you get less height from it. And I pretty much got that perfectly. Rising bounce into the G, into far side of the gong. That is exactly how it's supposed to go. Beautiful. But yeah. 6.5 is quite notable in all puzzles because there's a puzzle piece right at the end that you need Ramby for, but you can only get him from the beginning, so if you die, you pretty much have to just exit out of the level. Really massive time loss if it happens. And also 6.5 introduces a new type of bonus room, which is the hardest type of bonus room to optimize in all puzzles. So it's a whole load of stuff, really. But yes, having Diddy from 6.5 makes this beginning way smoother. Which is the entire reason why we do 6.5 second. This level can get a cheeky death on you sometimes, mostly at the beginning. But it's one of the less deadly levels in World 6. This next section is pretty much auto-scroller. You can kind of just goof off in this section. Although the sooner you get down at the bottom here, I believe the sooner he catches up to you. Little cheeky jump there to fall a bit sooner. Oh, I need that. Yeah, rather simple level. Just gotta be wary of the first part. Aha, you thought you were gonna go to the boss. Unless you didn't, but... No, actually 2 more levels. It tricks you. I don't know why it tricks you, but it does. 6-7 is a level you're probably more likely to die in than 6-6. If you know what you're doing though, it shouldn't be too bad. There is one strat in all stages that you... well no, one strat that you can't really do in all stages, that you can in any percent. And not being able to do that kind of like reduces your risks of dying compared to 20%. I did that movement wrong. Ooh, okay, that was sketchy. Didn't think I was going to get a momentum bounce, I got the momentum bounce, and then... yeah, okay. That was a whole load of weird stuff. Okay, that's fine. Really sketchy 6-7. Yes, normally you can not wait for that second platform there, but grabbing the N in all stages, kind of, it takes up some time, usually. If you don't get a perfect N grab, you can't go for that fast ending, but that fast ending can kill you if you don't do it right. Might be the most death-heavy level, or one of the most death-heavy levels in World 6. Definitely a couple places you can take a death here. Got plenty of leniency to make this cycle here. This. I did not get it. Oh, I died. I took a risk. I paid the price. Okay, I'll go Diddy-less, it's fine. I don't really need Diddy for this ending here. Actually, I would like Diddy for the next level, but you know what, I guess I'm gonna go without him. That is the price I must pay. Yeah, next level let's do Diddy-less, just for the challenge. Alright, so that is actually the last normal level in World 6. After the game fooled us with 6-6. We now go to 6K, which is a very infamous level casually. Now it is an auto-scroller, so it's not exactly a speedrunner's biggest worry. It might be if you don't have Diddy. This is a very difficult auto-scroller. If you don't have Diddy. It's even harder in mirror mode, where you can't take any damage. But yeah, so a minute 45 auto-scroller. Most of the difficulties in the second half. There are a few coins I can pick up here, but to be honest, I've taken so many weird deaths that like I already have enough coins to service, just, you know, to suffice for the rest of the run. So I don't even need to worry about them, just because of all those deaths I've been taking. You will grow to hate these guys if you try running this level. Or, I guess, just try beating this level in any context, you will hate these guys. Those two aren't too bad. Very consistent way to avoid them. However, this guy, he will follow you. He knows where you are at all times. Every minute you're not running, he's only getting closer. And yeah, he's a big pain. Thankfully, I played this level enough due to trying the time attack that I actually have a very consistent way to complete this level without taking damage, but he can cause so many problems, and actually quite nice that I did that damage list there. That's essentially a 6k mirror completion almost. As far as I can tell, they don't really have like a super official name. The only source for a name for those guys is from a Japanese source. Apparently they're called like Robo-Bee or something. I don't know. They're literally only in that level. Some of these like one level only enemies are a bit weird. Anyway, this is the longest level in the game. This is 2.5 minutes long, pretty much. Which, to be honest, is fairly short compared to some other platformers. The longest level in Tropical Freeze is 3 minutes. But yeah, there's really not much you can do to speed this fight up. There is a little RNG factor. Although nothing in the first phase. And this boss is also really deadly in mirror mode, I should point out. You know, speaking of mirror mode, well, I guess not directly related to mirror mode, but the schedule for Really Really Longathon, or rather Really Really Lots of Lore, actually opened up last night, and I found out that I got DKCR file completion into that, which is a category that involves beating every level with all puzzle pieces, all Kong letters, and then beating them again in mirror mode, and then beating them again in the time attack mode of the shiny gold medals. So basically doing literally everything you can do. Which does, of course, include, therefore, beating 6B mirror. I should note I do have a good track record with this boss. I've historically called this one of my bottom two levels in the game. Playing it normally, it's not too bad, really. Like, it's a very consistent boss. The only RNG factor, which I forgot to point out because I was busy talking about that marathon, is, oh yeah, there's a skip you can do. He does two of those fireball attacks. You can just take a damage boost and it will cancel them. The only RNG factor is, right after this attack he will charge into the wall, and the RNG is how long he walks before falling over. Oops. Okay. Yeah, and I got long walk. So you can get short, medium, or long walk, and I got short walk in phase 2, but long walk in phase 3, so I'm kind of balanced out. You know, we estimate it's like a 1 in 9 to get double short walk. We don't really have any data on it. For all of the other hits, I was going to the other side of the arena so he wouldn't waste time walking after taking damage, but for that last hit, I just want to hit him as soon as possible. I should also note, you can beat up those tikis at the end of every boss fight. It doesn't do anything, though.
Except probably wasting time.
Yep, it does waste time. But, you know, casually, or in time attack mode, because in time attack the time will stop as soon as you, like, touch the tiki. You can do a beatdown on them to get out frustration. Possibly. Which some of the bosses are definitely the most frustrating levels to time attack because of the randomness. The thing about the randomness, I would say, is don't let it deter you from running the game, if this game ever interests you, because unfortunately that's been the case for a lot of people, that they hear about boss RNG and they're like, oh, I don't want to play this. No, that's kind of a lame mindset to have. It is annoying. I'm not going to pretend boss RNG is like a nice thing, but don't let it deter you from running the game if the rest of it, if, you know, the whole package interests you. but it's just the boss RNG that gets in the way. Because Tropical Freeze doesn't have any boss RNG in the Switch version. The Wii U version does, but the Switch version removed it. Unfortunately, DKCR did not get the same treatment, and all 3 versions of this game have boss RNG. Notably, the final 2 bosses have the most important RNG. So, it can kind of suck, but I think overall the rest of this game is well worth it. But yeah, it definitely does make time attacking most of the bosses annoying. It's only 1B and 5B that don't have any RNG. So, I was pretty much not looking at the screen for that. I totally deserved that. I will lose Diddy here. That's fine. I can get away with losing him. This, I totally forgot to mention, but World 7 is where the second difficulty spike happens. And kind of like the first difficulty spike, I'd say World 7 is harder than World 8, just like World 5 is harder than World 6. Therefore making World 7 pretty much the hardest world in the game. A pretty common opinion that World 7 is the hardest. And this level in particular is very easy to die in. Thankfully I'm past the part that I can like reasonably die in. I'm gonna be honest, I've not been keeping an eye on my coins, but I know I have enough, so I'm fine. I never did get that second coin barrel in this run, but I got so many extra coins from having to replay levels because I kept dying that it doesn't matter. We're actually gonna pick up banana juice from this shop, as well as the key. Because we want to use banana juice at 8-1. And we can't buy it from the Board 8 shop because we only unlock that after beating 8-1. That is the only item that is pretty much in the standard rank for this game. In both any percent and all stages. I totally deserved that, to be honest. I don't know what I was thinking. Yeah. Something that can happen sometimes, and what happened there is I tried to hover to make it a bit safer, but then the fact that my momentum died because I started hovering actually ended up killing me when I would have otherwise lived. Which is just a matter of judgment more than anything. Errors in judgment happen so often in this game. It's a really difficult game. Aside from that though, this level's pretty simple. It's definitely the shortest one in World 7. And we do play this one in any percent. We pick up a total of 3 keys in any percent. This one, and also in World 3 and World 4. Because the alternative is playing this, which is a 1.5-minute auto-scroller. I always forget how to do a movement at the beginning of this level. Alright. Really not too much to talk about here, to be honest. Other than, you know, appreciate the music. And give my voice a breather.
Yeah, at least this game has some nice music to listen to.
Yeah, definitely. David Wise wasn't on the soundtrack for this game, but I still think this game has a great soundtrack. It's mostly remixes of DKC1 music with a few new ones in there, but I really like how it sounds. Of course, David Wise did eventually come back to do the soundtrack for Tropical Freeze, and that turned out to be an incredible soundtrack. But I think DKCR's soundtrack is perfectly fine. Plenty of good ones in here. I wonder, will I get zoomed out cam at the end? I don't. There's a weird thing with this ending where sometimes the camera's zoomed out, sometimes it's zoomed in like that. I have no idea why. Why it's different sometimes. We've never been able to explain it. Okay, 7-5. This is the first of 3 factory switch levels, as we call them. Find. I went past it very quickly, but that thing said find. Indeed, we do have to find something in this level. But first we've got to get this K letter. There's a faster way to get this K letter. I don't really know how to do it. So we're going to do the long way. Short. You know. Slow and steady. And I have to wait to get the O. At least I didn't die. That should have killed me, to be honest. But it didn't. Oh. Always forget the cycles roll off sometimes. Okay, so that thing we were told to find, it's right here. We have to find a switch in each of these levels and press it in order to proceed to the end of the world. Not sure why they did this, but
okay, that just answered my question I was about to ask.
Yep. Yeah, you have to do this even in any percent. There's no way around it. This is the most long-winded one. The other two were much shorter, much faster to get, but for some reason this one takes a while. You have to wait for it to turn all the way around. Takes forever. And here's the G. It could be a scary level sometimes. In any percent there's a cycle we're trying to make at the ending that can be a bit scary to hit, but it's not too bad. Right, 7-6. This is one of the coolest levels in the game. And I wouldn't say it's like one of the best for speedrunning. It is really good for speedrunning, but like, it's just casually, this is one of the coolest levels in the game. And it kind of explains itself. Touch the switch and it changes what platforms are active. Also, we have a really smooth way to grab the switch here. Ceiling boost, and never mind, I didn't. I clipped the ledge. I would have liked to not clip the ledge, but yes, you can do a ceiling boost to grab that switch ever so slightly faster. This one's really quick, unlike 7-5. And it doesn't mess with cycles or anything, which is nice. This is notably a really difficult IL to optimize, and one that I put a lot of time into. Sometimes this can get a little confusing, but you get used to it. Gotta be really careful now. Oh, wait. Excellent. ending at that level is quite scary if you don't know what you're doing. Right, and the third factory switch level is another really unique one, and also a really difficult one. This level has caused speedrunners endless struggle over the past 14 years. Okay, whoa. Did my nunchuck screw up there? Okay. Why do I just feel like my controller's screwing with me? Okay. That is a really odd death that I would never take under normal circumstances. I don't know what the hell happened there. My controller should be fine. I don't know what was up with it there. At least this wasn't PB face or anything.
Need some classic nunchuck drift.
I don't think it's drift, but it's acting up a little bit. I've had my fair share of nunchucks and Wiimotes acting up while playing this game. The Wii version is the best version for speedrunning, but it does come at the cost of... a rather literal cost of nunchucks and Wiimotes just breaking really easily.
Yeah, I'm glad I have a collection of nunchucks because of my Go Vacation ones.
Just like that, we're done with 7-7. Save for that baffling death at the beginning, which has definitely caused my controller. That is a really weird level, because as you can probably tell, it's timed to the music. And that causes some jank, sometimes. Cycles are such a massive part of that level. Like, it's pretty much all local cycles, so you pretty much have to constantly be aware of how fast you are to be able to predict with confidence what the cycles in the next section will be. It can be a hot mess sometimes. Thankfully, like 6K, this level is an auto-scroller for the most part, so I have a couple opportunities to pick up some coins while I'm here, get to that sweet total of 20. Yeah, this level does have a skip at the end that I will not be going for, because it requires a frame per bit input. Which, of course, if you miss, you die. But it saves about 18 seconds if you get it. I did actually get a PB in this category with it one time, because you have to touch these red switches to keep the platform following you. Okay, just barely managed to get that coin there. You have to touch these red switches to activate them and keep the platform on the tracks. And I screwed up and missed one of those, so my only alternative was to go for the skip, at which point I would have, and for the record, the skip would have started about like 10 seconds ago, doing this whole section without the platform behind me. I had to do that to save the run, and I actually ended up getting it. You have to do a momentum bounce off this last tiki right here in order to barely get enough distance to make it over here. It's a hot mess, but it works sometimes. But we're out of that level. Not very notable in speedrun for the most part. Hopefully the day doesn't come for a long time that you actually have to start doing that in runs. Right, we're going to a very weird one-off level. I don't know why this level's really in the game, but it's here. Lift-off launch zum Abheben bereit. auf Deutsch. This is really just a one-off level. I don't know why it's here. It's the first vertical rocket level. There are only 2 in the game, and one of them's not even a full level. You can't play this level in mirror mode or time attack. It has no conglers or puzzle pieces. It's just kinda here. I guess it's serving to give a logical explanation as to how we're reaching the boss. This is, for the record, this is the rocket that we activated by hitting those 3 switches. I get that's the lore, I guess, behind all of this. Yeah, not a very notable level. It's just kind of there. Just a 50-second auto-scroller just for fun. As a treat. On to the main event. This boss. This is the second most significant RNG in the game. I will explain it more when I get there. Also, it's shaking up the pre-boss part for once. No longer just do one roll jump, you actually have a decent bit of movement to do. But now I'm waiting for like 35 seconds, pretty much. He's gonna walk across the arena slowly. I'm gonna go under him. And then he's gonna walk to the other side of the arena slowly. Alright, now we will do something. Oh, nice. He can jump up to 3 times before letting you hit him. I got lucky there, and he allowed me to hit him the first time. And if... what the hell? That's crazy, I don't know why that happened. Okay, well, I just lost a hit that I would have gotten. Oh, that would have been perfect RNG. That's crazy. I don't know why that happens. That's really odd. I guess I wasn't shaking fast enough? Man, that would have been perfect RNG. Oh well. But he gives me the second hit for free anyway. Okay. That is really odd. Whatever. Didn't lose an enormous amount of time to that, I guess. Right. Second phase. Can I get the thing? I cannot. I've been... okay, every time I mess it up currently, I'm messing it up by going too far to the left. That should be teaching me something. It's easier on the right side. But yes, you can get all 3 hits at once. And each extra hit you get saves about 20 seconds. No, not that much. Each extra hit saves about 10 seconds for a total of 20 if you get both extra hits. There we go. I can talk now. It's a really awkward trick, for sure. We're now in Ward 8, and we're going to remember to whip banana juice in this level. Because this level has a lot of damage boosting. We pretty much need it. There's kind of no way to do this level cleanly without it. We do this even in any percent as well, like... okay, up here... I'm going to position myself on the edge here. Jump. And do a seeding boost there, to save a little bit of extra time. Hopefully you get the N and make it onto the platform at the same time. You really see just how many damage boosts we're taking. It's so much faster to do the level like this than try and take our time. And I still... yeah, I pretty much used up all my hits there without losing Diddy. Alright. And we have just enough coins to get the key. Final shop trip, final time of seeing Cranky. And we have another auto-scroller. Thankfully, kind of the final rocket auto-scroller. I say kind of. It's also the hardest rocket auto-scroller. This is one that I have a decent chance of dying in, probably. I didn't die in 4-5, which I thought I would die in. I never got the chance to explain in 4-5 that the last Kong letter in that level is a key death point. But thankfully I didn't die there. Because I was busy closing my window while playing that level. Yes, I hope I don't die getting the O here, which is right up here. Almost did, okay. If you touch the ceiling, you die. You have to be really careful in that section. Take good care of how much you're pumping the rocket. Because I never explained, but it pretty much works that whenever I hold down the A button, or the 2 button if I'm playing on Wiimote, it will pump the rocket, give it some air, and if I let go it will fall. You have to be really careful when you're getting the O in this level, especially because it's right before the checkpoint, so it's a big time loss if you miss it. This level's even scarier in all puzzles, because some of the puzzle pieces are genuinely really difficult in this one. Coins, which we don't need anymore. And after saying mostly goodbye to rocket levels, we're saying actual goodbye to minecart levels next. This is quite a fun level though. It's not super long, it's, yeah, quite enjoyable. It's the shortest of the standing minecart levels, and by extension, all minecart levels. We have to get the K in this section, which actually prevents us from... It actually forces us to grab this grass at the top rather than jumping straight to the straight to the next minecart, which we can do at 80%. And the reason why it prevents us from doing that jump is because for some reason, if you jump at all in the first minecart in this level, it will... if you don't jump at all in the first minecart in this level, it will completely pass through a rail for some reason. And passing through that rail allows it to get more speed on the next rail, which means it can go far enough to allow you to make the jump. Because we jump to get the K, it then rides that rail, which it doesn't normally do, meaning that we can't do the skip to get the K. Meaning that we can't do the skip. So yeah, gotta grab that, gotta touch that grass. I love touching grass. There's a trick called Touch Grass Cycle in 2-2 that I ended up missing, unfortunately. And here's another relatively obscure level, not a very popular one in speedrunning. It's fairly cool though. I'm gonna try and hopefully succeed to do this beginning in a special way. Whoops. I needed to be a bit further to the right there. So this is a Ramby level, as you might have been able to tell by the Ramby icons. That's not how I expected to take a death. I'm gonna try this again though. Not what I expected to happen, but let's try this again. Getting the right height for that gong is really weird. Right. See, I did actually get it second time round, and I died to something really weird the first time. So I pretty much got that first try. Right. But yes, we this is a Ramby level, but we actually don't want to use him for the beginning because it makes we have to waste some time getting off him to get the O, because you need to stand on some blocks that he just destroys by default. And it's just a tiny bit faster overall. Whoops, I need the N here. But yeah, this is the only level other than 3.6 where Ramby's actually required to be used. It's a pretty cool level, to be honest. It's a shame that it's rather unpopular due to not being in any percent and just kind of being a weird IL. You have to jump here, you can't run across that gap for some reason, but you can in 3D and HD. It doesn't make sense sometimes, but yeah. There are some key differences in the physics between Wii and 3D and HD. 3D and HD are more similar to each other than they are to Wii. Mostly because HD is a pretty lazy port that was just based mostly on the 3DS version, with upscaling and stuff. Yeah. I mean, you can run all three of them like I do and just get used to all the differences. It's certainly doable. Also, this is quite a difficult level. This is probably the hardest level in World 8. I completely messed that movement up. Okay. Cycle's gonna be a bit off. Wait. Okay. Oh, okay, I'm alive. I gotta lose Diddy here, but that's fine. I can run without him. Yikes, I should not have gone for that. I kinda forgot I can't make that jump. That's fine. It's not the end of the world. I have definitely messed that movement up though. Okay. I'm making this worse for myself. Let's play it safe. Oh, yikes, you do one thing wrong, and the entire game is out to get you. Yeah, that was on me. Okay. Right, actually I can just do the normal movement here. For the record, I can still get underestimate. I'm not worried about that. I'll wait for those. And I got hit anyway. Well. Joke's on me. Actually, I can get underestimate, but it's going to be tight now. I've goofed around a bit too much in this run, going for silly strats. Well, let's hope I can play somewhat decently. Not too much left, only about 5 levels to go. This is another one of the harder levels in World 8. Mostly the middle section of the level is quite difficult. I like to wait here before getting on the wheel, so the K has some time to fall down. I can comfortably get it with just PK. Whoops, that's fine as a damageless ending strat. Oh, I got a ledge hop, but I did not think I got a ledge hop. The N is completely free. I don't know why, but it's completely free. Some of them they just give to you. The G is right here. Okay, so this is mostly just waiting here, but we can actually jump off early. It's a bit more weird. It's a bit weirder because I took damage. Because normally you take a damage boost to do this ending, but there is a damageless strat. Hopefully I get it. I don't think there should be any hiccups. Nice. It looks scarier than it is. It's really not that bad. Alright. Last normal level in the run. So this is a vertical level. Quite hard to optimize doing these jumps, the lowest possible height and stuff, but yeah. In RTA runs it's honestly not too bad. In the IL it's a different story, but we're not in the IL thankfully. Oh, yikes. That was almost bad. I really would like to have Diddy for the next level. That's fine. You're supposed to bounce on that guy to get to the end. Oh, heck, I'm messing this up. No. Ah! My bad. Don't get too excited in this ending, because gotta wait. And then go. Okay, this might cause problems in the next level. I hope it doesn't. The final K level. Fünf Affenprüfung. As the name might suggest, this level is composed of 5 different trials. That's pretty much it. I'm gonna wait, because I'd like to preserve a hit for the last trial. Because I screwed up and I only have BK, I would like to save a hit for the last trial, for safety reasons. And to be honest, the first trial was really the only one that could reasonably take that hit from me. So, feeling pretty good right now. Special thing about this level, actually no, I'll say that after I get through this section. Okay, there we go. Special thing about this level, actually, is that it's the only level in the game where you actually are required to get all puzzle pieces. Because collecting the puzzle piece is what spawns the barrel for the next section. But yeah, this is the only level in this category where we actually get all puzzle pieces. This one's not too bad if you know what you're doing. That one can be hard to do damageless casually, but it's not too bad if you learn it. I get it pretty much every time. This last section is made up of 5 waves of these boulders. The first 4 are not too bad to dodge. I'll let the 5th one speak for itself though, and you will see immediately why I decided to save a hit for it. Alright, here's the 5th one. You are supposed to do that damageless. You have to really precisely jump between the platforms. That one is really scary in mirror mode. Especially being at the end of any given mirror mode or 200% speedrun. But with that, we are now in the final boss. Not the final level though. There is one more level after this. But this is the final boss. And I forget if I hinted at this earlier in the run, but it is the biggest RNG check in the game, pretty much. 7B has pretty significant RNG, this one has even more significant RNG. It can be a nightmare. He has killed many a good run of mine. In fact, my past two any percent PBs in HD and my current Wii any percent PB both had, well no, all of them had absolutely terrible patterns on this boss that killed. In the case of Wii any percent, I could have had world record if it weren't for my horrible luck on this boss. And in the case of HD any percent, my PB/record could have been a lot lower. But what can you do? I'll explain in detail his patterns shortly. But that is the last bit of auto-scroller in the game. Cheeky little rocket auto-scroller to lead up to the boss. Alright. You can immediately land a hit on him at the very beginning of the fight. He will always have his palms down for the beginning of the fight, for the very first hit, which means you can hit him. And now he's gonna do another hand swipe, prepare to do one. He might have his palms up, which means I can't hit him. Like that. There's no way of knowing. Pretty much a 50-50. So now he's gonna give me a chance to attack him, and then he's gonna swipe his hands across the screen again. And, would you know it, I got bad RNG. And now he'll do another hand swipe. Worst RNG, let's go! Triple palm up is the worst RNG you can get in the first phase. And I got exactly that. It's like a 1 in 8 to get that. You know, it's a good 50-50 chance you just move on with your day, because you only need the palm, oh nice, okay, never mind. This is actually really good. Double hit there. You only need the palm to be facing down one time after the first hit in order to get a perfect first phase. So, you know, you'd think there's a 50-50 chance you get a perfect first phase. And then there's like a 1 in 8 chance of getting what I got. But okay, that's a really good second phase, actually. So actually that second phase kind of made up for it. The second phase is where he can really start wasting time. Thankfully, he gave me a double hit, and then a really fast third attack as well, so actually pretty decent RNG overall. He can waste up to like a minute in the second phase, it's horrible. But, right. With that in mind, I reset the game to skip the ending credits. Oh, what's this that's shown up? Well, this is the secret final level. So in each of those K levels we were collecting a shiny orb. And those have all come together now. To reveal the Golden Temple. Now in 3D and HD this opens up to a full 9th world, but in this game it's just one single level. And I'm gonna stay focused for it. Oh, okay. That nearly killed me immediately. That would have been embarrassing. Right, we're fine. We're back on track with the cycles. Ooh, okay, we're fine. Some hiccups, I'm fine. Oh, wow, okay, I'm having a lot of movement mistakes here. Alright. Time's gonna come up in about 10 seconds when I hit the end barrel. And... cool. Just barely underestimate. Wow. I'm cutting that really close. 2:19.53 on my end. Probably a 52 to be honest. Okay, wow, yeah, So I went for a lot of really stupid stuff in that run. That could have easily been like a 215 or lower. But I somehow barely made it under my estimate, so you know what, that is good enough for me. 219 is... it's a time a lot of people aim for. Very lucky to barely get that here. Mostly thanks to that Tiki Tong pattern. That was a really nice Tiki Tong pattern. As a result, we unlock Mirror Mode, the aforementioned Mirror Mode, Spiegelmodus. I'm not going to be playing that. That, if I were doing 200%, I would now go and play every level in Mirror Mode, but I'm not going to do that. So instead, I'll say a few closing words quickly. So yeah, this is like my first speed game I got really good at, and it means a lot to me. It's a very fun game, despite, you know, the struggling I had in this run. This is a very fun game, and I definitely recommend picking it up if you're interested. Like, HD in particular is having a good bit of activity right now, as you might expect, being the new thing everyone's into. Also, yeah, shout out to the whole community, and also shout out to the German community. We have a lot of Germans running this game for some reason. I don't know why, they seem to love their Donkey Kong. So yeah, shout out an euch alle, and that is pretty much all I had to say. So that's me signing off for DKCR, but catch the stream again this evening where I'll be running another Donkey Kong kind of game.
Yeah, a racing game. And with that, we are going back to intermission. We have to set up the randomizer one now.